Hello, I'm Foxy Blue, and I'm here to discuss the spiritual references of Kendrick Lamar's album, sixth studio album called GNX. His sixth studio album, and perhaps he will rest. He will take a break between now and his seventh studio album. He's had quite the year. So today we're gonna discuss the spiritual references by song. Of each of the songs and GNX. GNX represents for me several things. Of course, it represents Grand National Experiment, the car, which was produced 1987, same year that Kendrick was born. One of a kind car, so it represents also Kendrick Lamar, who is one of a kind, one of one, very unique. Very powerful car for its time and rare. So now it's a costly car because it's they only made about 500 and something of that car. It could also, GNX could also represent gangsters in or and Christ. The X, it's almost like Xmas, like Christ, Christmas. So to me that was spiritual as well, because in his SQUABBLE video, he had, Jesus saves gangsters as well. So, for me, Kendrick is a spiritual gangster, not in a negative way, but someone that fights against evil and brings clarity to the masses. GNX can also represent for some Generation X. Even though he is a millennium, he acts and comes across as an old soul, much like Generation X, the generation that came before him, which the properties of Generation X are hardworking. They went through a lot of tough obstacles to improve the generation and to make it easier for the generation. They value loyalty, hard work, and dedication. So those are also characteristics that are seen in Kendrick Lamar. To begin, I want to just quickly go over Kendrick Lamar's big three. And I know he says it's just me, but his spiritual, what we consider in astrology, the big three is his sun, moon, and rising signs. His sun is Gemini. He's a Gemini sun. His moon is Pisces, which explains why he's very emotional. His rising is Libra, which also explains a lot of his characteristics. He values peace at all costs and harmony, and only displays aggression when he's trying to make a point, when he is trying to bring clarity to the masses, and when he is trying to unveil truths and reveal lies. So, that explains his characteristics. Just to note, his descendant sign is Aries. So if you know, that's the crash out mode as well. Geminis are very inquisitive, could be impulsive. They love clarity. They love to be intuitive. They're mutable signs, so they're open to changes and embrace new ideas, new concepts. Now we're going to start with the first song, Whacked Out Murals. In Whacked Out Murals, which is a very powerful song for him to decide to begin the album, it shows his vulnerability, it shows his aggression, and it shows how he has evolved and how he handles things differently than perhaps when he was younger. And if somebody would have did something to him, he would have probably made some poor choices. And he begins by saying, yesterday someone whacked out my murals. And that energy will make you want to move to Europe and just leave it all behind. He speaks about love and hate, and he says the love and hate is definitely without a cure. So he speaks about the fact that there is a duality in human beings, spiritual beings having a human experience. And he speaks about it's him against the industry, against anybody that defames his name, against anybody that is against him or speaks poorly about his family. He mentions my blick first and God got me. So here's a duality of him wanting to handle things in his own way with, full aggression. But he also knows that, God, spirit, the universe got his back because he has good intentions. He tries to help people. And you could tell because even in the lyrics, he says, you are a God, even if they say you ain't. So he is trying to help people know their worth. It took him a while, and you can see in his previous projects, like Mr. Morale, when he goes introspectively and deep dives and does a lot of shadow work, it took him a while to realize his own worth. So now he's trying to let others know you are a God yourself. Everybody is Christ-like. He is trying to raise the Christ consciousness. And he also expresses, I'm possessed by a spirit and they can't take it. In this statement, he speaks about he has a mission, push forth with truth, with clarity, to heal the masses, to bring messages of hope. And you could tell as well that he is using, his discernment and his high vibrations to elevate the vibration of the masses, where he says, F a double entendre, I want y'all to feel this ish. So he basically is talking about, yes, I'm talented. Yes, I can give you double, triple entendres, but stand on business. Stand in your power. Be in alignment with your assignment. Being in alignment with your assignment means do your gift. He's doing his gift of music and of writing, his creativity as an artist and performer. And they are haters. They're people that are going to go against you. When you are chosen, he was chosen among his family to be this famous, to carry the torch, to bring people out of poverty, to help his family, to break generational curses and break generational patterns of poverty. He is trying to do the best that he can with also making people stand in their power so they could also attract wealth the way he attracts wealth, and the way he's manifesting a life of peace, harmony, and happiness. The next song is Squabble Up, a fan favorite, an amazing upbeat song. Fun. This is where Kendrick, responds to people that perhaps are saying, oh, his songs are not danceable. We want beat. We want to dance. So Kendrick answers the call by putting the messages, the medicine, if you will, mixed with sugar or mixed with dance beats, but he's still being a teacher, a leader, and bringing forth those spiritual messages in Squabble Up as well. He begins with I am. I am is a powerful statement. I am is I am him. I am the one. I am, the chosen one. How in the Bible God refers to himself, I am. So he is putting out a call for all of us to be standing in our truth and say we are like him and to be like him. And he says, I am reincarnated. And, we're going to talk about reincarnated in a little while with the song, but he knows that he had other past lives. He feels like an old soul. He feels like he has already lived this deja vu. He has been here before. And he also says, I'm a stargazer. And I know that went over a lot of people's head. Think about it. Someone that likes to stare at the stars, but he means it. I believe he means it as he is reincarnated and he's from another dimension. He's lived many different lifetimes. A stargazer, I see it also as a star seed. I have a video shorts if you want to check that out called Are You a Star Seed? 7 signs that show if you are a star seed. And some of the typical attributes of a star seed is you feel like you don't belong. You feel like nostalgic, like you belong somewhere. You stand out. You also realize that you have a mission, you have a gift, and that the masses are attracted to you. Babies, animals are drawn to you. People are drawn to you. You have a light that wherever you go, it shines. But in the message of Squabble Up, and by the way, star seeds do have psychic abilities, and Kendrick has referred to himself time and time again as a prophet and as a disciple of God, perhaps to bring the work and the truth, the word of spirituality and of God to people. He also mentions it's a full moon, let the wolves out, I've been a dog. So he refers to himself as howling at the moon, and he is, taking and gathering the energy of the moon, almost like becoming a Super Saiyan mode, in Super Saiyan mode, if you will. We charge crystals in the moon. Moon has a lot of powerful energy. People say, hey, why are kids or people acting up? Is it a full moon? So, that the moon brings a lot of energy. People charge water in the moon, and manifest in the moon. So he is also referring to charging up his power. I've been a dog, and he howls. He kind of, gives out that yell when he, right after he says that phrase. So it talks about standing in his power, knowing that he's powerful. And when he says, going back to I'm reincarnated, I'm a stargazer, life moves on, I need all my babies. I feel like he is talking to the youth as well, the children, but also to people in general. Like he is trying to save as many people. He is trying to help as many people. Now, what's funny is in the video Squabble Up, there's several, references, spiritual references, as I mentioned. Jesus Saves Gangsters too, and also he's reading the book How to Be Like Kendrick for Dummies. But in this, and he has quite the sense of humor, but in this he is also saying, let's be more like him. Not just saying Kendrick, but let's be more like, be in alignment with God, or be more empathetic, be more kind-hearted, how to improve yourself, how to be the better version of yourself, if you will. Luther is the next song, and it's an absolute sensationally beautiful song about love and self-love, of course, and love of others. And he begins by saying Roman numeral 7. If you know, the 7 is a divine number, and in the Bible, it talks about God created the heavens and the earth and rested on the seventh day. So it's a special number. And he mentions, if this world were mine, and here we see a duality of him being his human self versus his spiritual self. If this world were mine, I would take my enemies in front of God, introduce them to that fire. And so if you bring your enemies that are doing you wrong and doing evil things in front of God, introduce them to God's light and fire, they will be destroyed. Is what he's saying, referring to the power of the one, of the spirit, of the Holy One. They wouldn't have time to be judged. They will be instantly destroyed. Then you see how his duality flips to his spiritual self, where he will say, if this world were mine, I would take your dreams and make them multiply. So whatever you dream of is your best dream. I want more for you. It's not enough, so to speak. And then he says, it's a vibe, do your dance, let them watch, right? So here he puts the medicine, the message that he wants to give with sugar, with a dance, a danceable, a vibey song, a bop. And then he goes back to the duality of saying, I wouldn't give those nobodies any sympathy. Those nobodies, meaning the enemies, people that do you wrong. Don't give them the stage, or as I mentioned in my channel a lot, don't give them an opportunity to do you wrong again, to betray you, to lie you. Don't allow people to do that. When you have love for yourself, you know enough to not let others not love you and hurt you. You stand in your power and in your truth. And you fight evil, and you just keep people that are negative and that are low vibration away from you. He also mentions better days are coming, and that's a message of hope. So it's a beautiful song, with positive messages and hope. Men at the Garden is a powerful demonstration of standing in your power that I speak about a lot on my channel. It's all the affirmations that you'll ever need to know your worth and to know that you are worthy of attracting the life that you imagine and that you want. He mentions at one point, I see you as a human first, even if you don't understand your worth. Again, he has humanity. He's an empath, so he feels emotions, and he, as he stated, that he prays for his enemies. So when you get to that level in your spiritual journey of being aligned and being empathetic and being kind-hearted and paying it forward, you feel bad for people that have hurt you, because you know that they are lost, that they are not in high vibration, and they are not standing in their truth, and they don't know their worth. You pray for those, and you still wish them well. You keep them away from you. You set boundaries, but you still don't have ill feelings anymore, because you have manifested and you have embraced a life of peace and harmony. And you can't manifest when you're angry, when you're sad, when you are in low vibrations, when you have regret. In that energy, your chakras are not centered, and you're not in alignment and in a calm state to attract, to make the law of attraction work. So he's speaking of having knowledge of self, doing shadow work. Shadow work, basically knowing your worth and knowing who you are, all the aspects of you. Shadow work is accepting your good, your bad, the ugly, everything, all the parts of you, and working through it gracefully. Healing childhood drama, past trauma that can affect us in new relationships. He reflects on all the lessons that he's learned, and he says he deserves it all. And when he says he deserves it all, he means the good and the bad. Everything that heaven allows, my intentions were pure, even when you weren't sure. I deserve it all. So he has good intentions, and I have learned myself to manifest with good intentions. It's never good to say, I just want to manifest a bunch of money just because. What are your intentions? Put good intentions and be intentional in everything that you do. And Kendrick is extremely intentional. He wants to change the generation, improve the generation for his kids, for his family, for strangers, for people, for his fans, for people that he doesn't know. He's trying to explain how he, manifested and how he has succeeded. You see the duality also in Men at the Garden, because he is fed up with people keep testing him. When you have been chosen and when you are starting to go on your spiritual path and take accountability for things that you've done, and embrace and want a better life, and be in alignment with who you are and who you're supposed to be, and with your gift, and doing your gifts to heal and to bring you prosperity. People will test you. Families might be against you. They may not understand your choice. Some people may leave their career to do their gift, their passion, and you are tested. There will be haters. There will be people that will make you doubt yourself, make you stop, achieving the goals that you set out to achieve. And that's what's happened to him. There's people, as you saw in the rap battle, people coming at him, disrespecting his family, disrespecting him. And that's when he mentions, look, it's just more blood to spill. It's just paint to me. And in that, you could see that he is at war. He feels like he is at war. There's so many people, his idols have been disappointed with him, have disrespected him, and he feels like when you are going on a spiritual path, a lot of people, you have psychic intelligence, so people that you've dealt with for 15, 20 years, you see them in a different light. You see them with spiritual eyes. You see them for who they were. They were like this whole time. Some people were not loyal, were betraying you, but you didn't see it. But when you have ascended in your spiritual path, you start seeing people, and people start leaving your life because you're asking for peace and harmony. So anybody that's not peaceful or harmonious they will disappear from your life. They will be removed from your life. It's an extraction mission to purify you, to let you live in harmony and in peace and abundance. Abundance is of peace, of joy, and financial freedom. That's what I speak about on my channel as well. Hey Now is the next song, and what a fantastic song. They are amazing song. This is a great album. He starts off Hey Now saying big face Buddha. He describes mentions big face Buddha. Buddha, so he's referring to himself as godlike, Christ-like. And also he says, get my peace from within. Now that's a powerful statement because you can't get peace, when people are lost or confused, they feel like they find solace and peace with others. But first you have to be in alignment with yourself. You have to be at peace and be happy with yourself and love yourself. And that's where ultimate peace comes from. To be at peace is to be thankful, to be grateful for what you have, to be grateful for what you have endured, to be grateful that you survived tough lessons with people, people perhaps lying, betraying, or just people not treating you and not treating you well, not knowing your worth. So getting your peace from within is an extremely powerful statement of spirituality and being one with the universe, being thankful for the little things. You can create your peace by doing shadow work and respecting your journey and being appreciative of your life lessons. Here we see his duality, his part of his being a little bit of aggression, where he says, the last one thought he was Magneto. Magneto had electromagnetic powers, all the powers. Like he could just do it all, right? You play God, you're going to get what you ask for, meaning be humble. And he goes, and he's been preaching that same message in previous albums. Be humble. Know your worth, but also be humble. Don't play that you are God. And that right there shows you that Kendrick does not feel like he is the God. He wants to be godlike. He wants to be one with the universe. He wants to be respectful of others and wants to know his worth. And when he says you're going to get what you ask for, means a narcissistic person get fame and power and money the wrong ways, but their legacy is going to be tarnished. The end of their life, their story, is not going to be a positive one. And most of those people have to hit rock bottom. I have a video on what is a narcissist on my channel if you want to check that out. You have to hit absolute rock bottom. This age, Pluto being in Aquarius, the truth is being revealed. Systems and organizations are being dismantled. Lies are being exposed. And we're seeing it in real time, right in front of our eyes. People who they really are is coming up to the surface. And, like Kendrick has said, it's God's plan to show y'all the liar. And we're seeing his lyrics from Euphoria prophetically develop right in front of our eyes. And one of the best statements in this song is when he says, we have the same 24, what you mad for? And, this is especially powerful because I started my own business and I started, becoming a YouTube content creator. And it was a lot of hard work. I have to put basically 24 hours into my business as opposed to another job. And there's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5. You do whatever job is honorable and is fits and resonates with you. But for those people that want to start their own business, it's a wonderful thing because if you're doing your passion, you always will have fun no matter how much work it is. And then after a while, the business will just keep thriving and you'll find easier ways to do the work. You get what you put in. How much work? We have the same 24 hours. While people are sleeping, I'm up. I'm doing things. I'm researching. I am organizing. I'm learning, things. I'm reading, so, and Kendrick speaks often about waking up early, running miles, getting his wind up, and you could, and that's what's bringing him success. That's why they chose him for the Super Bowl. He has the stamina, the stability, and the star power because he puts in a lot of work. Even though he's talented, he could just say, I'm talented, I don't know how to do anything else. So it's like, why are people mad if they didn't put in the same effort? He also refers to himself as the Black Noah. I just strangled me a goat. You know, in this reference, he is talking about, hey, telling people, warning people, do this, you know, all these lessons that he's given us in GNX and in other albums as well. He's telling you, look at my life, look at the mistakes that I have made. He's transparent. And you know, he's saying, look, I just destroyed an evil, you know, entity, or I just destroyed something that was trying to attack me. The Black Noah also was trying to save people and warn people that there is a storm coming. And he was warning, you know, people not to mess with him. People tried it anyways, and look at the results. I also love the phrase, flying through the turbulence. That is one of my favorite phrases in this song, because as an energy reader, I talk about tower moments, which are powerful moments in our life that are emotional. It could be a big argument, a big shakeup, a big discovery, a betrayal among your family, and it's something powerful. And a lot of people hate tower moments, and sometimes you get emotional, you cry, you get upset, but there's always a lesson. There's always an ending, and most of the time it's an ending to lies, because the truth gets revealed. And don't you want to know the truth? You're dealing with people that are smiling in your face and hurting you or trying to stab you in the back when you're not looking, because when you have good intentions, things are revealed to you. Things that you need to see to protect yourself and your energy are revealed to you. So him speaking about traveling through, you know, flying through the turbulence, meaning like he's working through those tough moments in his life gracefully. And once you learn to fly through the turbulence of life and know how to manage stress, know how to manage, you know, when you're sad, you know how to manage depression, know how to manage anything that can be harmful to you, you become healthier. You start choosing healthier lifestyles, healthier foods, and you start walking differently, being different, and being in complete alignment with your higher self. Now we're going to talk about Reincarnated, which is the epitome of spirituality in this entire album for me. Reincarnation, as some of you may know, is transferring of energy. It's when someone dies and there's a rebirth. They are born again in another person, etc. So energy, if you believe in that, energy is transferred. Kendrick often feels like Tupac passed the baton on to him. That energy of continuing and finishing Tupac's mission is transferred to him. Kendrick also talks about he did past life regression, and if you know anything about past life regression, it is done with a licensed therapist that specializes in hypnosis, where you're hypnotized, and a spiritual therapist will walk you through all the steps and put you in a meditative state so that you can recall past lives, how you used to be, your emotions, so that you can understand your past lives and all your gifts that you've had, so that it can bring a bigger understanding to yourself right now. It also helps you understand patterns that you keep doing. It is tied closely with karma. Past lives and karma. Could have met someone in a past life. If you keep dating the same type of people, have karma with that person. That means there are lessons that you are supposed to learn so that you can break the karma and have good karma. Karma doesn't necessarily just mean negative, but it could be good karma. Having good karma is our birthright. We have to learn some lessons. Embodies the soul of three people. The first person that is believed that he is speaking about is a musician called John Lee Hooker, who is an amazing musician, but was flawed with struggles and vices. The next person is Billie Holiday, which again, vices, led to her demise, and both people, their vices led to their demise. He also talks about Tupac, and there's big differences between Kendrick Lamar and Tupac, even though they have the same, they have a lot of similarities. They're both Geminis. They are both, preaching the same things. Their message is very similar. If you see some of Tupac's old interviews and look at what Kendrick is speaking about, it's in alignment with what Tupac was saying. But Kendrick Lamar's approach is different. He more calm. When you see him in interviews, he is funny, but he seems very soft-spoken at times and peaceful, which is part of his identity and part of his characteristic. Tupac was a little bit more affirmative, more aggressive, more assertive in the way he spoke. And we also see the duality of good versus evil, and Kendrick fighting to plead with God and say, look, I deserve good karma. I learned my lessons. And there's references also to Lucifer, or an angel that was cast out of heaven, a musical angel that was cast out of heaven. And Kendrick speaks about the evils of Lucy in his previous albums, which is vices, temptations. So it's ironic that Kendrick is also musical, because you can use your gift for evil to make people be in low vibrations, or you can use your musical talents for good to let people become positive, be kind, be empathetic. And he mentions, I'm trying to push peace in LA. And then God says, okay, but tell me more. Like, it's not enough, which is, the quote intended. And he says, I kept 100 institutions paid. And then he says, but you love war, right? So this is the duality of him trying to not crash out and to handle things gracefully, to fly through turbulence, if you will. And he also mentions that he has this fire from within. The fire from within, it's like a desire, a mission, a very strong feeling of having to do your purpose, of having to speak to people. When you have that desire, that means that you're supposed to do something. You're supposed to use your gift, bring healing. Kendrick also speaks about the pros and cons of fame. Sometimes he reminisces of when he didn't have all the fame, all the money, more problems, right? And he lived a simple life. And there are a lot of challenges with fame. He can't go outside and do regular things. A lot of people depend on him. People will say that he's changed. Family may be jealous. People are jealous. He feels the pressure of having to save everyone. And he has made references of, I am not your savior, because it's like, I'm trying to help people. And the best way he can continue to help people is through his positive messages in his songs. This song is extremely powerful because it's speaking about do what you have to do and what you must do. Do your gift and your purpose. Find your purpose in life. Find your purpose. And Kendrick is life path number 3. Life path number 3 are creative. They want to bring new and innovative ways to do things. They're charismatic. Regular jobs do not fit in their lifestyle. They do not thrive with regular jobs. They tend to do creative jobs, artistically inclined. So it is a perfect depiction of Kendrick. Our next song is TV Off. What an anthem. What an amazing song. This is an ode for people that want to hear his message, and for people that do not want to hear his message, to turn their TV off. You're not ready. When you try to give advice to a friend that keeps doing the same thing over and it's not beneficial to them, and you just give up. So it's like, he will help you, but you have to be open to receiving a message. And that goes with everything. There are people that are put in your path to help you, but you got to be open to receiving what they are trying to tell you. Be open to new ideas, new concepts, new ways to do things. And he keeps, you know, the refrain keeps going. It's not enough, you know, but it's not enough, you know, which means set your sights higher. If you are trying to manifest making 50,000 a month, why not 100,000? You know, you are worth to have a life of abundance, overflowing. And he does a powerful spiritual reference when he says, I'm the Alpha and Omega, welcome home. And, you know, the beginning and the end. I am the one. I am the one that you need for all your spiritual needs and all your advice. I can be your best of friends. And I love when he says the revolution will be televised. Ironically, turn the TV off to some people that are not ready to hear it. But many millions of people's TV will be turned on and tuned in to hear what he has to say and to see, you know, God's plan, you know, to show clarity to the world. And he says, young ninja, get your chili up, get your money up. You know, do not live hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to be penny pinching. You are supposed to have it all. It goes back to, it's a consistent message. When he gets upset, he says, with people that are not for his higher good, he's like, send them to the moon. And I use that reference as well on my channel a lot. He talks about people with big mouths, but they lack big ideas. And they don't have goals. They don't have, what is the end game? Yes, you want to make a lot of money, and then do what with it? Are you going to pay it forward? Are you going to help others that need your advice? You know, what are you going to do? Dodger blue is another intention of spirituality. There's tons of references here as well. The word blue, I like the word blue, but it also talks about, blue represents spiritually calming, you know, blue crystals, aquamarine, calming energy, relaxing. And the song, ironically, is very smooth, very calming, great vibe. Also, blue crystals help you speak your truth and help with your throat chakra. And your throat chakra is blue, is the color blue. But of course, Dodger blue is the sports team as well. And the song begins with a melodic, give a helping hand to your fellow man. Another positive message. This is a high vibration album filled with positivity. One of the references that I love is when he says, meditate over some money. I see Franklin, I find Zen. So he's attracting money, you know, the law of attraction, manifesting, the law of manifestation, of bringing things to you. You can bring the things to you. You can find peace. Abundance is not just of money, but it's of peace. And he's making the reference like an abundance of peace, Zen. Peekaboo is our next song, another fun song. And also it talks about peekaboo is almost like showing up, popping up and showing people, you know, standing up to negative people, bullies, or people that have done you wrong. There are some spiritual references that Kendrick makes and AZ Chite also make. And AZ makes a reference, should have prayed before them shooters came and nailed him to the cross. Nailing to the cross as in Jesus was nailed, crucified. And this also refers to people having bad karma and having consequences of their actions. People that have tested you in your life, people that seem to keep getting away with things will have karma, or the generations will continue the karma. Energy gets transferred. He also mentions, I praise God and start stomping feet. So it's spiritual warfare again. Handling business, taking care, setting boundaries with people. Then the fun part, beam bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. The type of ish I'm on, you wouldn't understand. So, you know, when you are on a spiritual journey and people will not understand you, especially the duality of Kendrick, being a Gemini anyways, and also wanting peace, being so peaceful. And you could look at Kendrick's funniest moments and he's hilarious, he's hysterical, and people are like, is that the same guy that wrote Meet the Grams? Yes, because he knows his worth. He knows that he wants peace and harmony at all costs. He values life of peace, which is different than what he grew up in, and he's trying to change the narrative. He's trying to rewrite his story and create the life that he imagines that he wants to have. He's still a spiritual being having a human experience. So he will teach you something, but he's also human. And people don't understand that duality, person trying to bring forth understanding, but we are all human. We all make mistakes. The heart part 6 is an ode to the heart chakra. It's heart chakra energy. It's all about emitting love for yourself, love for others, but most importantly, loving your journey, validating your journey. And it is one of the most powerful things to do, to look at the things that you've done in your life, to look at the things that you've been through, and to do inventory and of your life and your purpose moving forward, and loving your journey. One of the hardest things, because a lot of us want to erase certain things from our past that were not good. But what did you learn? And I speak about this on my channel. What are the lessons? People and things are in your life for a reason, for a season, or to stay. Those 3 concepts will help you. You were supposed to grab a lesson, add it to cart. What was the lesson that you learned? So in the heart part 6, an absolutely beautiful song with that beautiful sample, use your heart and not your eyes. He talks about his journey, and he's humble. He gives credit to all the people that helped him. He gives credit to other writers like Ab-Soul that he found were better writers than he was. So he is humble enough to not be arrogant and to understand that he learned and that he evolved as a writer because of all these people as well. He is creative, but all these people were put in his path to help him, to motivate him, to protect him, like his record label TDE. And he also feels guilty. He talks about the transparency of leaving them behind to start a new company. But as part of growth, you have to evolve. And this is something that's very important that Kendrick has learned, that you can't stay stagnant in the same positions. Once you have goals and you've met those goals, then give yourself new goals. We are always learning and growing, and that's how we thrive, and that's how we are living a full life. But what he did was he did not leave his friends behind. As you can see in the pop-out show, he's still giving opportunities to work with his old black hippie crew, TDE, and he's still, with this tour that he's going on with SZA, he is still bringing his old members, his old record label on, in conjunction with his new endeavors, so they can all make money, so they can all thrive and be put on the big stage. So use your heart is also saying, find a way to deal with adversaries or problems that you may have with friends or family, and solve them with conversations, with expressing how you feel, or work through changes and accepting the next stage of your journey. Who put the West back in front of Ish? Tell him Kendrick did it. GNX is the title of the album and the title of this song. And in GNX, he is bringing a new generation of rappers from his city to be on the big stage and to be exposed to the masses, for their talent to be spread throughout the world. He remembers not to leave his people behind. He showcases many talents, and he also speaks about spirituality. He talks about his journey. Have you ever had to flip your unemployment? Like turn it and make it more money legally or illegal ways? That's been transparent of making poor choices in his youth, in the past, and he had to learn. Talks about survival. And then there's a mention of at the cemetery, F, that's where I could have been. So he understands and they understand that it's all about choices, and you can choose your path, and you can choose a life of being negative, low vibration, toxic, being narcissistic behavior, or you could choose to live a path of joy, of peace, of harmony, of empathy, of helping others, and paying it forward. And Kendrick pays it forward by giving an opportunity to others to shine on this song. Gloria is the culmination of this beautiful album, where Kendrick writes metaphorically about his journey as a writer. And this is similar to Common's song, I Used to Love Her. And her, Common has mentioned that her stands for hip hop, in its essence is real. Kendrick is also talking about the realities of doing your gift. It's a great way to end this project by saying, what is your gift? What is your talent? And also explaining that with your talent, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be people that discourage you from doing your gift. Are you a chef? Are you a teacher? Are you an artist? Whatever you choose to do your gift. You can be abundant by doing your talent and knowing what your purpose is. To find your purpose, something that you're good at, something that comes natural to you, something that you enjoy doing is your purpose. And prepare for it. Be good. Practice doing it. When preparation meets opportunity, that's when you succeed and you have your breakthrough. He speaks about me and my have a complicated relationship, and that is the ups and downs. Sometimes he says, you blocked me, when he's had writer's block, and people may be surprised that he's had writer's block. He talks about it's not always easy. You will be discouraged sometimes when you start doing your gift. You may not be as good at it, but keep working on it, writing over and over and over, or just keep working at your gift. He mentions when his grandma died at Pen Gloria, which is a brand of pens, and the pen said, count on me, depend on me as your relief for healing. So you can heal through your gift. You can heal. Your gift might be of music, of creating, of poetry, working with the outdoors, and bring healing through your music, through your talent. What is your purpose? What are you doing with your purpose? Are you helping others with your talent? And I want to end y'all with the fact that GNX is a victory lap. It's a celebration. It's lighthearted. It's fun. It's a vibe. And Kendrick being at the Super Bowl 59, a little bit of numerology, 9 + 5, 14. If you break that down even further, 14, 1 + 4 is 5. 5 represents in numerology change. So, you know, he's going to be on a big stage, the revolution being televised. And as he's always said, it's God's plan to show you the liar, to show you the truth as well. In this album, he has given of himself again. He has been transparent, and he has brought truth and healing and hope.